Welcome to another Friday Frenzy. This is the card we're making today. It doesn't open up at all. However, it's got two pockets on the front, one for greetings and one for you to put cash in, as you'll be able to see on my blog and the still photo that I took of this one. Okay, today's one we're actually making in Peekaboo Peach. Now, I've made this video 3 times so far today. So instead I've decided to make a template and jump straight to the part where I've already got this piece cut out. So this is the shape we'll need. All of the dimensions will be found on my blog. However, I'll just do a recap for you. You actually cut the A4 cardstock to 28.5 centimetres and you just have it the normal width. So in Australia it's 8.5 inches, or 8.25 inches and 21 centimetres wide, and as I said, you cut it to 28.5 centimetres in length, which works out to be approximately 11.25 inches. So if you're working in the States, you'd have to make it probably 11 inches or whatever, and maybe make each section 3.5 inches instead of 3 3/4. So you'd go 3.5, 7, 10.5. So you'd make your card just a little bit narrower, but it'll still fit into, I don't know what they call it in the States, but over here it's a DL envelope. Okay, so as I said, you cut it to 28.5 centimetres by the 21, and then you score it in 3 at 3 3/4 inches each time, and then you have to cut into it. So that's a 7 centimetre drop, and then that's a 7 centimetre drop. Because it's 21 centimetres wide, it's easier to cut it into 7 centimetre widths. Now, if in the States you're 8.5, which is 21.5, I would cut it back by 1/4 inch so that you've got it the right width, and then you would trim it to approximately 2 and just on 2.25 inches down there and down there. Anyway, as I said, all of the measurements can be found in my blog. So we actually score it here and here at 9.5 centimetres and then do the cuts. So that's the shape you will need. Now, I've scored and folded, so that's how it will end up. Now, before you actually start sticking it together, you cut out the papers that you're going to use, and I've made them approximately 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre narrower for each piece. So we'll stick these down quickly. If I can find my snail. I tidied my desk up, so I have no idea where my snail's gone, so I will use this other brand. Sorry about that. I always try, if I've got my Stampin' Up products around, I always try and use those in my videos. Obviously this one isn't going to work out that way. So we've got the first piece down, so that will fold over like that, and then we bring this one in, flip this one over. It's quite easy to put together, this card. Okay, make sure you've got the writing up the right way. Now, why is that not fitting? No, it's not actually wide enough. Oh well, we'll just have to go ahead with it. Sorry about that. Okay, and then we flip this one over, and one last piece. I actually had all the pieces cut out, so I must have mixed them up. So there we go, the third piece is down. You can use any paper for this, but I've used the background DSP because I think it looks really pretty. Okay, now we'll pop the card aside for a few minutes. I've already punched out 6 petite petals out of the Peekaboo Peach cardstock, and I've used a now retired punch, but any small floral punch will do, and I've cut out 6 centres. Now I'm going to bring in my Peekaboo Peach ink and just a piece of scrap cardstock in Whisper White, and we have to stamp out 6 flowers and then punch them out. There we go. So bring in the punch. Go. And then with our sponge, and while we've got the wrong sponge there, while we've got the ink pad out, we'll just sponge around the edges of all the plain cardstock flowers. Oh, before we put the stamp pad away, now that all the flowers have been stamped and punched out, before we put the flowers away, or before we put the ink away, we bring in our 2 tags. Now one of them is going to say, "Thanks so much," and the other one will say, "Just saying." Now we come in with our flowers, stamp off and stamp on just to decorate the tag. There we go. So now we can put away our ink, and we bring in okay, I'm back again. I found it. It was sitting right next to me, just to my right side. Okay, so we just snip out 2 pieces like so. Neaten the end up of that one, like so. And all we need to do here is just fix it on with a staple. That one, and that one. We're not actually going to see either of those because we'll be fixing them on with glue dots, some flowers on with some glue dots. So what I'm going to do now is, if I can find my little score tool, okay, we'll bring all of these in like so, and these ones and we'll pop these all together. We come in with some little rhinestones or diamantes, depending on what you want to call them, and pop these just into the middle of each of the blossoms. Right, so now I've done all of that, I'm just going to pop onto the centre of each of the rhinestones with the end of my craft knife, just to give them a 3D look so they all pop up slightly. Okay, now we can bring in our card again, and this is where we're going to put it together. Now I found my snail while I was looking for the ribbon. So along 3 of the sides there, and just below, just above halfway across there, so that the money doesn't actually slip down inside, and the same here. Now you don't really need to do this side, but I wanted everything to sit evenly, like the tags and everything. I needed those to sit evenly, and they're not going to sit evenly if we don't glue that side to match that side. So there we go, just give that all a really good press. I might actually bow fold the back of it and the front, so we know that's all well and truly stuck down now. Now we bring in the glue dots. Right, so I'm just going round the roll of glue dots and just popping a flower onto each glue dot. Okay. So I'll stick one in the middle there. And then one just to the outside on both sides. We've left a gap in the middle for the other one. Like so. Now we bring in the 2 tags, and as I said, we're going to hide the staples on the tags by popping a floral or a petite petal flower over each of the tags. There we go. So it's just saying thanks so much, and our little gift can sit in the bottom pocket there. I just realised I didn't put the ribbon around the bottom. You don't have to, but I just thought it added a nice touch. So all we do, bring the ribbon together like so, fold it over. I think I've cut the ribbon just a little bit too short, but there we go. And just trim the ends there. 1, 2, and take a glue dot and just pop that underneath at the back to hold it in place so that we know it's not going to slip off. There we go. So Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's card and you give it a go at home and that you like it. If you did like this video, if you'd like to give me a thumbs up down below, and I'll see you again next week for another Friday Frenzy. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.